So today I'm going to be working on my kite rig, and I thought I'd share a couple of pictures related to my kite rig. Here I am, pasty faced with all that sunscreen, but this is my kite rig. I had to pull these pictures up because I forgot how to put it back together, kinda sorta. So you can see the kite rig. It's metal, it is bent EMT conduit, and a strap, and a deep sea fishing reel. Here's a different angle. You can see the handle sticking out and the eyelet that the string is guided through, the guide eyelet I guess, and the strap, and it's designed to sit on my abdomen. And here's just another side view of it. Why do I have a kite rig? Well, one of the things that we like to do is to take pictures by way of the kite. So we hang GoPros, and this year I've got a new camera to hang from there. This is Alligator Lake. This is a state park, and this is the neighborhood where we're staying, and then this is the old town of Grayton Beach. So this is a nice view, nice picture. You get the clouds and whatnot. This is a slightly better view because you can see the beach, and you can see how far down you can see. Now you can see how, the houses. This is, like I said, this is old Grayton Beach. This is where the boats launched to fish. Here is a shot of a storm rolling by my kite. I think on this particular trip, you can see the drop of water here. On this particular instance, somebody had left a pop-up awning on the beach, and it was blowing away. And so I locked my kite rig in place and went to try to keep it from blowing away. So while I was chasing their tent canopy thing down, my kite was still up in the air, and this happened before I even knew it was a thing. Anyway, just kind of a cool shot. And this one is, kind of what everybody, looks for. You get the water coming in, you get the little dots of people on the beach, the umbrellas, the houses, the beach, and the kite string, and I believe that's me down there. And then there are those times where, I've never flown a kite at night. Let's do this as the sun's going down, and you get a cool shot. This is not great because these are done in what's called interval. It sets off a picture about every 10 seconds or so, 3, 5, 10 seconds. And it is hanging from the kite, and it is swinging around literally like that based on the wind and how the wind is carrying the kite. You have to go through hundreds of shots sometimes to get a good one, particularly where the horizon is straight and level, and we could do all the modification in Photoshop and that type of thing. But anyway, that's what we do when we're at the beach. Here's the upgrade, beautiment, restoration, or maintenance on my kite rig. So this is my partially disassembled kite rig. You can see that it's just the EMT. I've got to take this bolt off. I want to clean this up and prep it for some paint. I have some primer, and I have a couple of my favorite colors, and we'll see which one wins out. I may go gradient to gradient. So do the orange on the bottom and yellow at the top. I'll probably start off all yellow after the primer, but like I said, I'm going to clean up. There's the adhesive from the grip tape. It's kind of gnarly. These screws, heads, usually hold it like this. Once I get them set, I will come in and polish those off because those would snag skin on occasion. I did have an end piece here. I never really cleaned that up. One of these feet. I have not been able to get these off just yet. And then if time allows, I've got a printed piece that I have to design to put here. And this is just silicone tape. This stuff is pretty interesting because it stretches and adheres to itself. And once it adheres to itself, it really doesn't want to come apart. So for a little padding and some smaller things, it works really nice. I get to shove that in my pocket so I don't litter all over the yard. So I'm going to take this apart. I'm going to clamp it down to my, this is my shop. Well, this is my shop. This is my workbench until things change. And I'm going to clean this up so that we can light my spacer. I forget what that was from. Almost looks like a little tent stake, but I know that's not what it is. I think it's a sculpting tool or something. I'm going to work on cleaning this up and put some paint on it. Alright, I've still got a little adhesive on the handle. Most of what I was knocking off of here was salt and corrosion from being at the beach. So that looks good enough for now. So there's going to be a question of why did I just do what I did with a handheld grinder versus using a bench grinder. Don't you have a bench grinder? I have two, or I think I have three. One is attached to a bench in my tiny little 12 by 20 workshop that has about a 2 foot by 3 foot aisle that I can walk down through. And the reason for building a shop, buying 28 acres and building a 1,500 square foot shop is so that I have room to stretch out a little bit if I were to attempt to use one of the said bench grinders that I have access to. It would take an hour to clear out and an hour to put back for a 5-minute job. Probably not the best use of anybody's time. Why not strap a bench grinder down to the little work table that you just had out? I could, but the bench grinder that I can see needs wheels replaced. This one is bolted down to the workbench that I bought and have. Oh, and then that one I've taken apart to put new wheels on it. So this is a lesson in don't do as I do, do more as I say, for safety and some other reasons as I crash and bash. But all of this would be resolved if somebody would lay my damn concrete. Just gonna wipe these down and get any residue off. I could use a cleaner, but I'm not that concerned. I have the screws in my pocket, screws are in my pocket, screws are in my pocket. Those don't fit really well, but they'll work just fine. Okay, let's be creative. Trying not to get, the wind can't make up its mind. Stuff is blowing everywhere. I'll do this. Part of the reason I'm doing this today is because the humidity is so low. As the cloud goes right toward my phone. Sometimes being a yard slob comes in handy. I have sticks I can use. Yay! Questioning whether or not I should paint the handle part, which is what I just painted. And I guess it's too late. That's my cross handle. It's my left hand handle. Well, this is going to get beat and banged up when I'm reassembling, so I'm not super concerned about that. Let's see about this guy. And right into the camera. I gotta take a wider shot so you can see my ridiculousness. My brother was more of the artist and skilled when it comes to rattle cans, but his expertise came out of necessity. But he's talented enough to inspire his son, my nephew, to pick up a can, and we have two lovely paintings from him from Christmas. All right, I'm gonna let these guys boingy boingy boingy. This is already nice and dry. Gonna go with an obnoxious yellow. I like the obnoxious colors. It matches my personality. I actually use this same paint to paint my phone case with. Phone case is a little, and I primed it using this same primer. Lesson learned, maybe not. That all of that paint came off. 90% of that paint came off. Yeah, let's call it 90%. I think it's because it's more flexible than rigid. I hope to plan, or I plan to hope, I hope to have a small little paint booth. It's looking kind of canary. Not very. Not digging this. I may just go orange. If you can see the cloud, you're probably in the paint. Dadgummit. That's never a good sign. Did it again. This is the handle. I'm going to put grip tape on. So we'll see if any of that sticks. Okay, both of these products are called Sun Yellow, but if we look at this guy, that is obnoxious. This one, no good. No good. I said no bueno, and my Portuguese speaking friend said, "You're speaking Spanish now?" And I said no. Let that sit. Woo-hoo, that's much better. Much more obnoxious. Noxious? It is noxious. Two things I love about painting outside. One is the bugs. Two is sending clouds of stuff everywhere. Being able to do this in a controlled environment would be nice. No wind, a couple of filters, plastic to catch all the crap, and no bugs. Yeah. I get impatient. Oh, so I could also do heat, which would speed up the drying process, the curing process of the paint. Woo! That was close. So while it's drying, there's not really a lot. Oh, I can tell you about what's coming up. I'm going to put this stuff back together. All of the hardware, other than the EMT itself, I have replaced with stainless steel hardware. So I have stainless steel hose clamps to kind of hold it together. I've got a couple of stainless steel. I've got some all thread to hold some eye bolts for my shoulder neck strap to clamp onto, and that's pretty much it. I gotta see if I've still got any more of that silicone tape so I can put the little eyelet on the end out, and then the reel gets it. Oh, that's what it is. The reel gets attached with the stainless steel hose clamps. That's the big part. And then all thread and some stainless steel hardware to hold that together. Stainless steel in this case to cut down the corrosion from the salt water and salt air. Usually it gets a little wet from, well, it doesn't get wet per se. We have been rained on. I don't know that I've ever dropped it in the ocean or the pool, but it does pick up the aerosolized salt in the air and does get a little caked up and corroded. And you know, once you throw it in the back of the truck on the ride home or the way down there, you get a little damp from humidity and rain coming in the windows of the camper truck thing, or spill something, whatever. I don't know. I'm babbling. So I got my freshly painted pieces and was doing a test fit, and the paint let me know of how tight the fit was. So as I kind of screwed it in, it removed the excess paint. It's not a big deal, I don't suspect. Let's see, that goes that way, and this goes this way, and that's a decent fit. Okay, that one wasn't nearly as tight. You can see the old screw hole, not screw hole, but the indentation from the set screw here. But I also got some paint on the inside of this, so I was kind of concerned that it was going to get really tight. But it lets me know that there was too much paint there, and it kind of removed it itself. No, kind of, it did. No, so there's that. I wanted to try my hand at a, not exactly flames, but a little bit of a gradient with yellow up top and some orange down at the bottom, and this is some nice obnoxious orange. And if this doesn't work, I can always paint over it. And I've got a light spot here in the yellow, so. A little bit of a splatter paint there. That kind of okay, not so much a gradient as a little just variant. We got some splatter up a bit, which is kind of cool. I'll let this dry for a moment and flip it over and do the other side. All right, so I've got these turned over, paint cured. Gonna give these a light spray. Ooh, little splatter. Okay, and I'm not worried about the ends so much because I have chair feet rubber caps that go on the end, and I'm going to try to find a plug. I meant to look for that earlier, a plug to go in that one, but I forgot to look. So I have my pieces here, trying a new camera. More on that in coming days. I have stainless steel threaded rod. This was one big piece. I cut it down using my buddy Robert's bandsaw. Used a chamfer tool. So I ended up with the wrong size washers because I wasn't paying attention. Had to go back and get some of those. So I've got stainless steel flat washers, stainless steel lock washers, stainless steel all thread, stainless steel eyelets, and then stainless steel nylocks, because these are a little on the long side and I may want something on the middle, but they're fairly clean. These are to attach my strap to, and so I'm going to put a washer between these guys if I can pick them up. These guys go in there. And you can see I've already scuffed up some of the paint. Test fitting this stuff. Okay, so there's that guy. There's that guy. Alright, so I'm going to do washer, 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 washer. This is a bit of a tight fit. Because I did not carefully drill the holes all those years ago. I've got a lock washer, lock washer, lock washer, lock washer, and then I've got my eyelets. Now this is just to get us started with this rig. This got unexpectedly long, so I'm breaking it up into 2 parts. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.
Too many hobbies, not enough time.
It's a theme song, y'all.